California state legislation is going to be the end of this great nation. Happy day, y'all. It's your bruh True Jew here with some news out of California for you. It's actually breaking news, and I don't know if y'all are aware of this, but let me help you out. So recently, California appeals courts in Sacramento then passed a law, listen to me now, then passed a law stating that four species of bumblebee are now classified as fish. Okay? So in California right now, while other states have not done this and will not probably ever look at bumblebees as fish, California state appeals courts have now passed a law stating that California bumblebees, or four species of bumblebees in California, are now to be considered fish. Those species are the crotch, and I'm going to get to that in a minute. The crotch, Franklin, Suckley, and the western bumblebee, which have now been classified as invertebrates by the California Appeals Court of Sacramento by Judge James P. Arguelles. Now, the thing about bumblebees are they are invertebrates, but they're terrestrial invertebrates. So there's some questions to be had as to why these terrestrial, meaning land-based animals, are being classified as aquatic animals. Now, this comes as an overruling to a 2019 lawsuit in which California growers stated and claimed that the California Fish and Game Commission overstepped its bounds by declaring the bees a protected species. Now, see, when you know about California, California has a lot of wildlife in it, and California bumblebees are very, very valuable to a lot of the honey production that's done, especially for multiple sclerosis patients, individuals that have issues with nerve damage. Bumblebees are some of those animals that people use for their stingers, and the methods actually work and help those. So I've been told with nerve damage, nerve issues, multiple sclerosis. So many Californians grow backyard bumblebees and backyard beehives in order to remedy certain issues, physical issues that they experience. Okay. Now, the appeal goes on to state, actually, before I touch on that, California law declares a protected species as a bird, mammal, fish, amphibian, reptile, or plant. Okay? So, my question is, why couldn't they just add bumblebees to that list instead of classifying bumblebees as fish? Well, we about to get into that. The appeal goes on to state that the California Endangered Species Act directs the Fish and Game Commission to, quote unquote, establish a list of endangered species and a list of threatened species. So they got to establish this list. So why they didn't establish the list and put that bumblebee on it? The issue presented here is whether the bumblebee, a terrestrial invertebrate, falls within the definition of fish, which it doesn't, as that term is used in definitions of endangered species in sections 2062, threatened species in section 2067, and candidate species, i.e., species being listed as endangered or threatened, in section 2068 of the Act. So look, y'all, let's get into why they didn't put these bumblebees as a listed endangered or threatened species on this list instead of classifying them as an aquatic species, which they clearly are not. Bumblebees don't even swim. They don't swim. They fly very well, I might add, but we all know they don't swim. So why are these four species, once again, the crotch, Franklin, Suckley, and Western bumblebee, now being classified as aquatic species, as fish? Well, in other news in California that's recently been passed, California now allows 12-year-olds to begin gender transitioning on taxpayer dollars, on taxpayer dime, whether the taxpayers agree to it or not. Yes, you heard that correctly, folks. California law now allows 12 years old to begin transitioning their genders without the consent, okay? Without the consent of their parents. Listen to me now, on taxpayer dollars. So you got to be 16 to obtain a license in California. You got to be 18 years old to what? To buy a rifle, engage in consensual sexual activity, to be married without the consent of a parent, to get a tattoo. You got to be 21 to buy a handgun and alcohol or cannabis. Oh, and you could even be 18 to join the military and go out and fight and possibly lose your life for this great country, right? But you can only be 12 years old now, just 12 years old, to privately seek and consent, meaning a 12-year-old has the brain capacity to consent for this treatment for gender transitioning. Okay? Now, what's so troubling about this is who they're targeting in this law, especially. This extends to minors in the foster care system up to 26 years old as well, whether they're still in the foster care system or have previously been in the foster care system. Now, why does this matter? We all know that foster care children have been through a lot of traumatic life experiences up until the point where they exit and transition out of foster care, as well as why they were in foster care. Sometimes out of foster care, individuals have a difficult time dealing with this. So, this is a statement made in this new law. All children in foster care, as well as former foster youth up to 26 years of age, are entitled to Medi-Cal coverage without cost share or income or resource limits. The Medi-Cal coverage program provides transition-related health care services when those services are determined to be medically necessary. Now, what is medically necessary to this new California law? Well, children 12 to 14 who might show concern about body image, looks, and clothes, which we've all dealt with, focus on themselves, going back and forth between high expectations and lack of confidence. Those who experience moodiness, develop eating problems, or be influenced by peer groups, who feel sadness or depressed because those peer groups might be making changes without them. Man, I remember when I was in junior high school, I wanted my name cut in the back of my head, designed in the back of my head. My daddy told me, no, you getting the Joe Louis part, son. That's all you getting. You're getting a little part, a little swoop in front of your head. If you want something designed in it, that's it. Or I'm going to chop it all off. Now, I was sad about that. You know, I was kind of messed up about that for about a month or so when all my homies was getting their designs cut, Daffy Duck and Bugs Bunny and their name in the back of their head. But guess what? I never want to change my gender because of it. I got my first tattoo when I was 15 years old. That what I thought was pretty cool. I went back to school and I was cool for that. And you know, in California, you got to be 18 to get a tattoo. But my mama had to go down to the tattoo parlor and get the consent so I could go on and get that. If she wouldn't have done that, I wouldn't have got the tattoo until I was about 18 or so, till I graduated high school. But nonetheless, I still wouldn't want to change my gender, y'all. So what's really going on here? Well, when you put both of these new laws together, you see the trans agenda being enacted at a more high frequency rate. Why? Because bumblebees are not fish, but they're transitioning bumblebees into fish. And they're writing the laws on the lowest level now pertaining to animals and animal life, and then they're going to elevate that, which they've done, to our actual human life. Okay, I hope y'all are seeing the agenda. It's a trans agenda that's really happening. It's really real. And California is spearheading this. That's why I got the heck out of California and brought my family with me. Okay, now, like I always say, California and New York are the arms of Babylon. And whatever California and New York do as trendsetters of this country and to the rest of the world, they push the agenda in, starting with citizens who want to just be free-minded and want to live a life according to how they want to live it, not thinking about the consequences. Now, 12 years old who go back and forth and who are sad and depressed are in no condition mentally to be able to make decisions like this. And these scientists and these people, lawmakers who are passing these laws, know this. They know that most individuals don't mature in their thinking to 26 years old anyway. So, listen, y'all. Protect your families. The agenda's real. You can check this stuff out. I'll leave the links in the description. It's your bruh, True Jew, bringing you the raw and uncut truth the only way I know how. Most High Mama and Papa willing. I'll be back with some more. But until then, you know I love you to life. And gone.